Okay. All right. So, welcome to a new episode of Mind of the Matter. Today we have a very, very special guest with us. It's actually my cousin from San Diego. She does a whole bunch of different shit. She's gonna tell y'all brokies and wages how to escape the matrix today. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how to
All right.
escape the matrix. Yeah, that's like my
Yeah.
specialty. That's what I do. That's what I
Yeah.
does.
Escaping the matrix.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
so,
my number one.
um, they know us, but they don't know you. So, do you want to give yourself like a bit of a exaggerated introduction?
Yeah, like what do I do?
Yeah.
I am a sommelier, which is a wine expert.
Hmm.
So I'm like one of the youngest wine experts in San Diego. I manage a five diamond restaurant, which is like Forbes like number one best of the best. And I just fucking vibe in San Diego. That's what I do right now. I do a lot of other shit, but that's like the three main things that I do.
Yeah.
That's
So,
fire.
things that we want to cover today are like, how can someone that like just turned 18, or they're still in high school, they don't know if like they want to go the college route, because you tried that route too, you didn't
Yeah.
like it. um like
Right.
how, yeah, like how would they go from not knowing what they want to do to like eating lobster ravioli on FaceTime with their cousin at 10 o'clock at night? Like
Yeah.
how could they do that?
I don't know. I just felt like school was always going to be there. So I
Yeah.
felt like there's no rush to go to school. Like one day I want to go back to school for like Chinese medicine and be a doctor in that.
Yeah.
Um, but I just didn't want to go. Like I feel like maybe follow your gut, follow your intuition of like what you should be doing. Because I feel like we all have this like surface like level where we know what we should be doing, but we're not doing it due to like family telling us not to do it, our friends telling us not to do it, or even like ourselves telling us not to do something. When in reality, like you can do whatever you want. So I think like fuck the haters and do whatever you want. That's my best advice to give to someone.
My mom. But um yeah, that also I like implies with like those people that are just like same would go for you, Lenny, how like people don't want to invest in like crypto and take the long shot because of the risk, the risk of failing, losing all your money and all that stuff. So like what would
Mhm.
you guys say about that, rather than like, okay, yeah, like fuck the haters, but that's like
I feel
different.
like you just gotta give up to go up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to get somewhere and you're trying to like be different from everybody else, like you gotta be willing to take the risk. You gotta be willing. 'Cause people are scared. Like people, they're kind of scared to dabble into like the entrepreneurship world because like there's a lot of risk and like it's not promised. But it's kind of like it's all up to you. It's like how much are you willing to put into it to get where you want to be? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's deep, bro. Like it's deep. Like it's really really.
I feel that. I also feel like at this age, like it's so silly to be afraid of like losing everything because you're like, what the fuck does
Yeah,
anyone
we have
like?
nothing to lose. Like if we lose money, we can just always make more. Like
And
that's
nothing is
Yeah.
guaranteed. Your job will you off tomorrow. That job you thought was so secure. All right, they found a robot to do your job now. So now your job isn't that secure. So like even playing like the long game and taking the ladder isn't promised either. So it's like, I don't know, you gotta do what's best for you.
Exactly. Like it's like now, like especially right now, like you said, like there's robots, people's their jobs aren't a guarantee, like you said. Like in this time, like people have to create their own legacy and kind of meet reality with themselves. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to meet reality. Like they try to escape the reality instead of trying to like meet the reality and make it better. You know what I'm saying? By either smoking weed or like drinking or like, doing all that extra shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yeah, it's good to like maybe, you smoke weed here and there. Like, you know how to control it. But like in terms of like it controlling you, you know? Like but like I posted this one time on my story and like it's something that resonated with me for a while. It's kind of like you know, God gave you purpose and like God didn't just put you on this planet to like work for somebody else, right? Just to pay bills off and just to live and like kind of like you can't even get what you want, right? Like you still working a job, you still working to get like just regular income and you working to get that whatever, but you can't even get that because your income is fixed. But then now if you dabble into like scaling your income, making cash, creating different cash flows, right? Like escaping the matrix, you know what I'm saying? Which Marrisa, she's, she knows about this.
Yeah,
All right, which
yeah.
a lot of people aren't woke. So like it's it's a good topic to definitely tackle. I don't know if you guys heard that. My stream went out.
Yeah, no, we heard that.
All right. But yeah.
I just want to start off by saying that I became a Waffle House legend Saturday night. They know me as the guy that ate 4 waffles. I'm saying that right now. This is entertainment purposes.
4
We
waffles is
going
that a lot?
out. Oh,
At
my
Waffle
bad.
House, that is a lot. That's like the size of like a head plus some.
I'm like not a
What?
Waffle House connoisseur.
You don't
It's
like
like
Waffle House?
I've
Bro,
never
I
been.
would never eat that ever
I'm like,
again.
Boy, Waffle House is smacking. Nah, you're
Dude,
tripping.
I had it one time, I got sick. Never again.
damn.
Like those after party thing. Like get
That
some
Oh
hash
yeah,
browns and some waffles. Yeah,
actually I
like
wonder like
very interested.
I know they getting clowned on about like the whole fight situation that happened, but like
Yeah,
I just want I'm a Waffle House legend. They got my shit on. They got me on the plaque. Elkton Waffle House. They got me on the plaque.
well, you
you
be
know,
there
if
every Saturday.
Yeah, I'm there like every week.
Waffle House.
Yeah,
You there
like
every
almost every week.
Saturday.
Yeah, like almost every Saturday. Like it's always at night. It's never in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope not. That's like a deep depression if you're going to Waffle House in the morning in like good conscience.
Oh, I mean,
Facts.
like
Yeah,
You
I
have
just
done
go for
that.
the vibes. And nah, cause like the talks at Waffle House, top tier, like top tier,
I've heard that. Yeah.
The
and
what?
like at the Waffle House,
Yeah,
god damn,
what's top tier?
shit boomed in my ear. Waffle House, like the conversations at Waffle House, like the talks that you have at Waffle House.
Bro, I only been
Maybe
to
we should.
Waffle House once.
No, I remember like one time I was with Rob and Milan, the dude that produced our outro.
Yeah.
Um, we were like smoking weed and like when we went to Waffle House, bro, that shit's funny as hell. And I
I was
probably look like a
probably
dickhead the way I was eating my waffles.
you was probably wilding, bro. For
No,
me, bro,
I was
you was probably
smacked.
sleepy. You was probably
I
like,
wasn't sleepy. No, I wasn't sleepy. I mean, I ended up falling asleep after the fact, but like,
that'd be the best sleep.
nah, it was good sleep. It was the Mike Tyson papers that just took me out. Enough of the side talk though. I was gonna say, all right, so the topic of you know setting yourself up for financial stability, that starts with credit, right?
With credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Would you
say
say
so.
that starts with credit? Yeah.
I don't think it
Yeah.
starts with credit. I
But
think
like, yeah.
I think there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. I mean, for me, definitely credit makes me feel more secure because I have like $22,000 in credit cards. And so it's like, all right, if I lost my job today and I couldn't pay rent, like, all right, I got 2 years of paying it on a credit card and I still have a house. Like I still have a credit card to put all my bills on. I still have a credit card to put food on until like I figure some shit out. So credit does in a way make me feel financially free because I'm not afraid to leave a job and I'm not afraid to move across country and I'm not afraid to do things because I know that I have $22,000 of just borrowed money that could help me, that could save me in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like a tool for sure. Like I think it's something really important to have so that way you don't feel like you're paycheck to paycheck or you don't feel like you have to be at a job. I'm at my job because I love my job and because I love learning at my job. And if one day I wake up and don't want to be at that job anymore, I don't have to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I know you were like talking about moving out the fucking country and
Yeah.
like what was it like France or something that you were like thinking about
Anywhere.
going?
It could be,
Anywhere?
yeah, Europe, Italy, like, well, Italy is in Europe, but like France, Italy, Germany, like I would go to any of those places or Asia. So I'm going to Asia in May with my next SOM test.
For a
Um,
what test?
my SOM, so my sommelier test. So there's like 4 different tests, and I have another one coming up in May.
Are they so you're going to Asia for that test? Are they like paying for the flight or are you like out of pocket?
It's all out of pocket, unfortunately,
Oh
but
hell no, they
You
finesse.
get reimbursed or
Yeah, you get reimbursed.
I'm starting a TikTok that follows all my wine studies and stuff. So follow me on that. I haven't started it yet, but
You said a
yeah,
what? A TikTok? You cut out.
TikTok because I want to find
You
like
said a TikTok.
yeah,
Okay.
little vlogs of like learning how like teaching other people wine and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you can drop that app.
I will.
and yeah, everybody yeah. Oh yeah, never
Yeah,
mind. You can
drop
drop
that ad.
that.
You didn't
Yeah.
even drop the ad to us, but like, yeah, it'll be in this.
Well, everybody,
Actually,
you
I
guys,
highly doubt
if you
some
got
of y'all
yeah.
snake ass motherfuckers gonna actually watch this goddamn podcast. But like, if y'all do, check it out. I'm gonna cut out the clip where she
Well,
talks
all of her
about
stuff
credit,
is
so
gonna
that
be in the
it's gonna be like it's
description.
gonna be like a cliffhanger. I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
it out, right? She might the secret to building credit, and I'm gonna cut it out. That way,
It's a
that
secret
way
to
they gotta watch it. They gotta watch it. I
Yeah.
want to know how to build fucking credit. I gotta watch this shit. That's how I'm gonna get them.
Yeah.
We're gonna clip it. All right, so we're gonna start that joint right now. Actually, don't clip this out. I want them to know what my tactic was. So let's say you're about to turn 18. You're about to turn 17. I had this conversation with someone like a few days ago. They don't got no job. I'm not trying to like call them out,
no, it's okay. Yeah.
but like at the same time I am because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But so you're coming out of high school, your senior year, almost you're about to turn 18, or you are 18. Let's say you have a job, you're working at a fucking Waffle House, or you have no job and you wanted to build credit, but you think you need like, oh, like I need my parents. My parents are gonna be stingy. They hating ass motherfuckers. How they like what would you suggest to them about building credit?
There's a few ways you can build credit. I knew one person who was working in construction. He actually was renting tools, and renting tools build his credit. So I don't know. There's a lot of other ways you can build credit. So there's that way where you can rent small things and build it off, like pay it off over time. My way that I learned how to build credit was I got a secured credit card and I paid $100 to have like a $200 limit. I took care of it for a year and then my credit shot up to like a 750. And after that year, I was able to I was able to apply for other credit cards and they were giving me like $10,000, $5,000, $2,000 worth of credit on these credit cards because I took care of that one credit card for a year. And so now I'm at like a 755, just because I took care of it for a year and I just keep taking care of my credit cards. So I feel like that's the best way to build credit is to get a secured credit card or to rent something super long term and to just keep paying it off. And then that just builds your credit. Or if you do have parents that fuck with you, then ask them, and they have good credit and your parents have good credit, then ask them to put you on a credit card with your name and not use the credit card for a couple of years. And that'll also build your credit.
There you go.
Yeah.
If
Fire.
you're about to turn 18, I'd say apply for that. You suggested to me Capital One, right? That was like the
Yeah.
go-to.
That was the
So
one I used was the Capital One secured. And that worked in my favor. Now I have like, I don't know, I think that credit limit is like 4 grand or something. Something small.
yeah, don't you have funding too, Lenny? With like what is it, Navy Federal or something like that?
Yeah, so I got Navy Fed, Discover, and then stay away from the store cards. but I had to get the Apple
You want to
Card
flex the Apple
because
Card real quick.
I had to
You
get
want to
that
flex
shit.
the Apple Card, the titanium Apple
I
Card.
had to get that junk. It's over there, but I had to
I
get
love
that.
that.
You got it
The
too?
titanium Apple
Yeah, I
Card.
have that card.
Yeah. So
It'd be my
like I
limit.
got those. Yeah, I got those three. But like in order to like build credit, I feel like there's a lot of ways you can go about it. Marrisa, she has some great points. Definitely like, especially if you're turning 18, like if you have parents or like somebody that fucks with you, have them add you as an authorized user on their credit because it'll help you. It'll help you. You'll be able to piggyback off of their credit history, and then like you have like the certain data points and all that. I feel
Yeah.
like with credit, it's not so much about the score, but it's more about the data points. Like more about like how much is your utilization rate? How much derogatory remarks you have? Like, do you pay your shit on time? Um, I already said utilization, right? I already said utilization.
Yeah, you
There's a lot of other date.
Best.
Say that again.
What percent would you
Oh,
suggest people keep your credit card at?
so technically, people they want you to keep it at 30, but keep it under 10, and you see your shit like go up every month. Like if like you literally see obviously the more funding that you do, the more funding that you get, the more you're gonna be able to get under that 10% utilization. There's a trick that you could actually get more funding. It's called I'm gonna say it, but I'm not gonna show you I'm not gonna show nobody how to
yeah,
do it.
bro.
It's
Gatekeep that
called
junk.
it's called manufactured spending. That's a way that you could actually get you to like be able to increase your limits like fast. Like I'm talking about like get 10 bands of credit, you get 15 bands like throughout the year. So like, I mean that, and then obviously like just taking loans out. I was like, even if you're not gonna use it, like just take it, like $1,000, $2,000 loan, like just take it, get the money, and pay that loan back. It's another account that's gonna be reporting positive on your credit history or credit account. So it's like, and then you could go into consumer laws, but that's a whole other topic, bro. Like that shit goes deep. So like
That's like
it's a
very
lot,
niche.
huh?
Like that's like a very niche topic. Like if people are really interested in that, then you can do a video on that. But that's like
Yeah.
that will make someone's brain hurt if they don't care about it. You know what I mean?
Well, Lenny has a YouTube channel. Shout out to Young CEO. Check it out on YouTube. He makes some fire. He makes some fire content.
Yeah, consumer tax law is just something that's such a niche topic that like if someone really is into finance and like that's an entire YouTube video podcast in itself, like that's like 2 weeks of just studying tax law.
Yeah.
And like
Didn't hear you, but yeah, I agree. I just don't want you to repeat it again. It's just like, yeah. Obviously, like you explained that like school wasn't for you and stuff, but like what was another thing that kind of flipped the switch for you? That was like, oh, like that has you in the mindset that you're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there anything like else that was there?
yeah, there was a few things. I mean, starting of the pandemic, I started going to like therapy. I started working out. I graduated high school. Like I was kind of in this like weird gray area because all my friends were going to college and things like that. So everyone was going to college. I had a lot of time to sit and think about like, what do I want? What do I want to be? What do I want with my life? So I had a lot of time to think. And yeah, I just got like almost like tired of it one day. Like I remember being 19 years old and sitting in my car and just thinking like, damn, like what am I going to do with my life? Because all my friends, they have this path of like, they're going to be in school for 4 years. What am I going to do? I was like, all right, I got the internet, which is a lot. And I'm like, people are making money. So like, how am I going to make money? So I started getting into like, I don't know, like day trading, into stocks, into investing, into just like looking at different avenues of like how to grow my income without working. Because I was a bartender at the time. And I think another thing that flipped the switch was being home and like making money, like not even making money, but the government kind of just paying me to be at home at my parents' house. And so I just stacked money away and away and away. I think where I messed up though, I tried too many different avenues of income at one time. Whereas if I picked one avenue of income and just stuck with it, I would have made a lot more money than trying to do everything at once.
Right. You're trying to like kind of focusing on too many things. I feel like if you were probably to just, focus on one a little bit at a time, that's kind of like what you were saying, right?
Yeah, so I think they
Yeah.
said you have to put 10,000 hours into something to become like a master at it. And so even if I put 500 hours into one of those hobbies and then moved on, I would have been tremendously more successful than trying to do 6 things at once.
Right.
Yeah,
Rather than just
advice.
prioritizing like what prioritizing and mixing on a couple things.
hmm So I hope that answers your question. What flipped the switch? What flipped the switch is me being young, and
Yeah.
I saw myself as a brokey because I lived in a household where 2 people were making like over $100,000 a year, and neither of them had a high school, or not a high school, neither of them had a college degree. And so I'm living in like a $250 house, like income house, and I'm seeing that like, all right, they make money, but like I know I could be making more money. And it was just
Yeah.
like an eye-opening experience of like, they don't have college degrees and they're making money. What, I don't want to go to college. Like I really just don't want to do it. It's not for me. And I knew that I wanted to be in restaurants and I knew I wanted to be in wine. So I was like, I don't need to go to school for this.
Exactly.
So,
Okay.
like, what made you want to be in like wine and like
Yeah,
the
that
whole
is true. Yeah.
mixologist and all that stuff? Because I know you used to like come over to like the house, start whipping up some cocktails and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
When I was 16, I got my first restaurant job and I was working like 65 hours and playing sports and going to school. And I was something in the restaurant called a cellar rat, which is
Mhm.
someone who goes down into the cellar and reorganizes bottles and brings up the bottles that they need and like presenting the bottles table side when I was like in my teenage years. Like I don't even think it was legal for me to be doing that. And I just fell in love with it and I fell in love with wine. And so when I turned 21, I studied for my sommelier and I moved out to California and just took the test and I passed. And so that just from 16, like I knew I just wanted to be in the wine and it was fun. I like being around people. I'm good at it. So I was going to go to school for hospitality, but then I decided not to go to school for hospitality because I didn't want to be like $40, $80 in debt for no reason when I knew I could learn it on my own.
Mm,
And I think college
that's
is
Very,
fire.
very
Yeah,
inspirational. Very
that's fire.
inspirational.
That's fire.
That just goes to show
That's
that
very good.
that just goes to show that if you just follow things that you're interested in doing, that you're gonna be successful at it because obviously you have the passion to do it. So you'll
yeah,
want to learn more and do whatever it takes to, learn more about that that passion or like that skill, that hobby.
Yeah,
And it
it's
just goes,
very
even if
useful.
it's something as small as like being interested in wine, it could take you so far in life. So
yeah,
that's just on its
Mm,
own thing, as like just follow like the thing, just do the things that you're interested in doing. Like, even if it's like I want to take up like beat making, rapping, or beat making and like working out, all this other stuff, like shakes and all that stuff. Like you can make a business off of like just knowing how to make a good ass shake. Like
yeah,
it's just small things. If you're good at it, you can succeed at it. And that's basically that's the main takeaway that I got from, my cousin and how she became a sommelier off of just being in a wine cellar at 16 years old.
yeah.
and
So very,
yeah,
very,
that's
very
fire
cool.
though, cause
Very cool
like
stuff.
that taught me
I did not
something
know
new
that
too.
story.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know
love for it.
I didn't even know like that was like a niche.
Well,
Like I
like
knew it was
like
a
like a
niche,
thing.
but like a thing. Like seriously, like I'm
Yeah,
like it's very unique, and I'm like oh
yeah,
shit. Like so, what is it? It's called sommelier, right?
yeah. Sommelier is how
Yeah,
you pronounce it. But
some,
if you say
yeah,
sommelier, people are gonna know what you're talking about.
yeah. So like I think that's like unique. Like I just learned like something new. Like you never know when you're gonna learn something new. And today I just did. So it's like that's fire. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like a passion of mine. Like
you're
at this
never
point.
gonna get tired of it. So just keep going.
Oh,
You never know where it could take you. Um, it could take you to the highest highs. So just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, so right now I got super lucky when I got to San Diego, and I found a tasting group of advanced sommeliers and master sommeliers that are teaching me literally right now how to be a sommelier. And like one of my good friends, she was just named Michelin Sommelier of the Year in 2021. And it's like, it's crazy that like when I talk about like the matrix, if you want something and you even like pretend to be putting the work in, or like at least try to put the work in, the universe and the matrix just like puts you into these rooms where you're either going to fold or you're going to like be expedited and like catapulted to the next level.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. Like I just feel
I'm
like,
yeah,
yeah,
good.
if you have a desire for something, the matrix will put people in front of you to help you grow.
Yeah, right. It's like you could either be trapped in it or you could escape it, like depending on who you're around, depending on who you hang
Yeah.
with, like
Yeah.
depending on like I feel like networking is a big thing. Like if I didn't network with the people that I networked with at the time of like learning like how to trade, learning how to understand crypto, I wouldn't be so knowledgeable and be holding the assets that I'm holding today. And I'm sure that's the same thing for you, you know. Um Question is, at the end of like, when you're ready to settle down and like all that, where do you see yourself like at your highest? Like what do you your entire like what's your
Wait,
main
whoa. What
goal?
do you mean by
Oh,
like settling down? Do you mean in terms of like relationship or like?
Or like
no,
in my old
settling down, like meaning that like she's chilling, like she doesn't like she's chilling, like like out of that grind phase, like people like obviously when they're ready to like
Oh, so
like
like when
settle,
she's
like
like in her retirement mode,
yeah,
basically.
like like doesn't have to like everything's on autopilot basically, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah. Okay, yeah. I know what you
yeah,
mean now. Yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
I don't know. Honestly, total honesty, what this year has taught me is anything can happen,
yeah,
and literally just plan for the next year. Don't plan too far in advance, because where I am now, I thought it was going to take me 5 years to get this job, to get the sommelier title, to
mm,
even sit for the next test. Like I thought it was going to take me until I was 25 to get any of that done. And right now, it was expedited within just a couple of months. It was just a phone call away. You know what I mean? So
mm,
I try to focus on the goals that I want to accomplish next.
mm,
And I just think that, like I say God, but I really mean like the matrix. Like when I refer to God, it's the matrix.
Yeah.
I think the matrix has a bigger plan for you than you can even imagine. So if you're saying like you guys are starting this podcast right now, and so anything could happen, and it's only a phone call away. It's just one video away from blowing up, and anything could happen. So it's like your only goal right now should be producing podcasts and producing good content consistently in order to have that break. So right now for me, it's just studying wine and doing the best I can to network and to be in this space and to enjoy being in this space, because
mm,
my next step is only a phone call away. Like I already have these connections in Michelin restaurants, and it's only a phone call away or a spot away when someone retires. And it's time for me to get that phone call. And they're like, hey, do you want to be our sommelier for this Michelin restaurant? So it's like, just be consistent in what you enjoy doing and just like fall in love with doing it.
mm.
Yeah, we're behind on editing right now, so like we have to.
Just
And
like
our last few
ongoing.
videos have been straight bangers, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like
that's been
like I was
fire.
talking about like before Lenny came on, is that like I'm self aware to know that our first video was low key kind of shitty, and
Yeah.
like like I can accept the fact that like okay we didn't really do a good job. Like we had really good points in that video, but it just we weren't organized, we were sloppy, we weren't you know it just didn't flow like a podcast. It was more of like a show, like a we were thinking of it like it was like ESPN, which that is not what we are. We're mind of the matter, but like
Yeah.
yeah,
Like you got to
But
remember that the first time you tried walking, you fell down. And the second time you tried
mhm,
no,
walking,
like yeah. It was
like,
just the fact. It was just that first video. After that, we're just like actually like on a roll. Like I'm excited to actually like see these next few videos come out. Like
yeah.
they're
especially
gonna
like
be
we are
fire.
two on movies, and then the one that we have with Rob, and obviously this one is looking like a really good video right now. And it's like I'm excited to see like like how much how much following we could get off of these. But I'm not trying to say like, oh, I can't wait for the following. It's more of like I just can't wait to see like the reaction of like our
Yeah,
production increasing video through video through video. You know what I mean?
Mm.
we can't wait
I
to
think
see
it's
the final
easy to
product.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm more. I don't really care about the viewership. I just want to see myself and like our podcast just like look really good and that
I'm
just
bro, for real.
and
I'm
just
just ready
having
to
our
create
personalities
culture.
just being shared like out there. That's
Yeah,
just what I'm really looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to like creating the culture, like mind in the matter,
Yeah,
like yo, like we are the mind in the matter, but like you are too. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like I want to create a community of culture. Like we could host events, like you know.
We want to create more than like it just wants. We want it to be more than just a podcast. We want it to be like a community type of thing,
Yeah,
I love that.
like
we got we could
TwitchCon,
create,
like
bro.
TwitchCon
Yeah,
type shit. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like some like yo, like we got our own. Like for example, like
We already
yeah,
spent the time. I spent the money. Like if you look at my setup right now, it's probably like
this man got like two
20.
bands.
It's like 2,500. Like
Yeah,
that I'm
probably
staring
three
at
grand
right now.
maybe.
So like
Yeah,
like close to there. So it's like we are spending the time. We are spending the effort. We are spending the money to like really make sure that our shit is like A1 and not like some half-ass on a fucking FaceTime type shit. So like I don't really care about the viewership. I'm doing it. I'm personally doing this more for like because I want to do it. Like I just see it as like a hobby. It gives me something to do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For Lenny, he wants to blow
Mm,
up, which is like I'm totally cool with that. Like if we blow up, we blow up. I'm excited. But for me, it's like I'm more in terms of like the passion rather than like the whole viewership side. Which I think it just makes it
yeah,
funner to like look at it
it
that way.
does.
Because it's like
If you
I don't want to stress myself out on views because then it's like I don't want to
And you'll stop.
dish out half-ass bullshit, like half-ass content, because it's
Mhm.
like all I care is about being entertaining when really it's like I can like easily be naturally entertainer. Like you've seen me and
mm,
Jose's conversations, like we're pretty entertaining.
Mhm.
hmm
but yeah, um, wait, are we going back on topic?
yeah, yeah. No, I mean like it's a
Bro,
podcast,
I'm
so
not gonna lie, bro.
we can go on
I
topic.
don't know what's going on my Wi.
We
Yeah,
don't.
no, you're fumbling the video. I gotta carry the video. So there's something else that I wanted to ask.
I'm
Well, I mean, I
like
already
tight.
asked it, but like,
Oh, good.
no, this is more for my
Oh,
cousin. So like,
oh,
he moved to San Diego, right?
Yeah.
You get out of Delaware. You get out of miserable East Coast Delaware.
Yeah.
Would you suggest other people to like get out of Delaware? Like, that's the main. Like, if you really want to like open yourself up to like network and all this other stuff, like, would your one of your advice pieces of advice would be like move out of the state, like get out of the Delaware, get out of the East Coast, expose yourself to like different cities, travel, expose yourself to new people, open up your network with like these random people that you just met, like grocery shopping in Texas. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is that something that you would also recommend for people to do?
I wouldn't even keep it exclusively to Delaware. I think anyone who, even if you were living in San Diego your whole life, you should move out of wherever you grew up because there's this comfortability I had when I was at home that I missed when I moved to California. It was like a comfortability of, oh, I know everyone. I could always move back in with my parents. Like I could always do this. I could always do that. Like I know everyone. I know the streets. I don't need to put on a GPS when I go somewhere. And I think that was the hardest thing is finding new friends in California, figuring out who I can trust, understanding that I can't go run back to my dad's house if things get hard. Like I can't just call up a friend and ask like, hey, can I be hired for a job because I'm low on money because I don't know anyone out here. And I think that everyone should move out of their hometown or like where they grew up because it pushes you into another level of being yourself. And also you stop doing things for other people when you move out of your hometown because no one's looking at you anymore. No one's watching you. No one cares what you do. Like you have to be your authentic self to find people who are like you. And so that's why I think you should move out of your state is because it just puts you in really uncomfortable positions that you would have never been exposed to if you were at home. And so that's my take. I think that everyone should move out of their hometown. Because I went through a lot when I first moved up here. Like I started a job that I hated just because I felt like I needed a job and I felt like I needed the title just to like prove some shit back home. And then like once I got over that, like trying to impress other people, then that's when shit started blowing up for me. Then that's when opportunities and doors started to open, when I stopped trying to be that that girl for other people, like trying to be her just to be her and like for people to look at. Like when I stopped doing things for other people, that's when shit really popped off.
That's good though.
That was like one of like, I remember when I was still in high school. I think it was either sophomore year or like, yeah, sophomore year because the pandemic. But so sophomore year, I had a counselor. Like the one biggest piece of advice that he gave us was like, move out of Delaware. Like, don't stay in Delaware. Like, expose yourself. Like outside of Delaware. Like obviously don't expose yourself out of that. Don't go to like fucking New Jersey, like right where the Delaware's there.
Like go as far as you can.
Like just go as far as you can. Like I know like this year I was talking to you about like how I want to like just do a shit ton of traveling this year. That's basically my New Year's resolution. It's just to just travel as much as I can, even if it's like road tripping, things like that. Like I know Rob, like right, you know Rob. Well, you don't know Rob, but Lenny knows Rob. How like this man was calling us to join our podcast outside of a fucking Starbucks in Waco, Texas, like doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to travel mostly to find out like where would I want to go. Like I know I want to go. I was supposed to go see you in February, but some hating ass motherfuckers happened. So I'm
Who's
pushing.
that?
So yeah, my mom.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So yeah. So now I'm just pushing it back to like spring break.
I think
April.
spring's good. Yeah.
Yeah. You also said it's beautiful. It's more beautiful in spring. So I'm like, all right, I can wait.
Way better in the spring or in the summer. It's just so much fun out here. But
We gotta hit up San Diego.
Spring, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be down.
There you go. We're there. We're there. We're recording.
When I was like 19 and 20, I traveled around the states. I like went to Miami, I went to Vegas, I came to California, I went to Colorado just to see like where I wanted to land, like where did I want to go. And I eventually landed on San Diego. And then this time last year, I actually bought the Airbnb for 3 months to buy myself some time. So I bought an Airbnb for 3 months to land on my feet, to get a job, to like enjoy San Diego, like not to get into any rush, to like figure out what neighborhood I wanted to be in. So I literally put the Airbnb on a credit card and just drove out here.
I feel like that's
You drove to San Diego? You didn't fly? How long was that?
Oh, you drove? Oh shit.
Yeah, I took a week to drive out to San Diego.
God damn.
Yeah, no, it's fun. You can do San Diego in 24 hours. You can drive from Delaware to San Diego in 24 hours. But I took a whole week. When I took my time driving, I think I drove like 3 or 5 hours at a time, and I went from city to city and just like.
Oh, so you just did some sightseeing on the way?
Yeah, like I just enjoyed being alone, like just did.
I know that's what Rob was doing when before he went to Texas. He was like in Nashville, and then he wakes up. Then we like call him the next day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in Texas." And we're just like, "What the fuck?"
That's what I did. But I went the north route, so I went to like Chicago, Pittsburgh, like then dropped down to like OKC and like St. Louis, and I went to like Arizona. I stayed out on a farm in New Mexico with like woke up and like literally ate fresh chicken eggs that morning, and like she cooked me breakfast, and it was the best experience, was driving out here for that week.
You say you went to Arizona?
You think the Tesla? You think the Tesla can make that drive, Lenny?
Tesla can make that drive.
Tesla make that drive.
That John died.
That John gonna die on you.
I gotta get the other one.
You gotta get the Roadster.
I gotta get the Roadster. I want to get the Model S, but that's
that was nice. The Roadster's nice as shit too. I mean, yours is also really nice.
Roadster nice. I got the 3 right now. That John making work.
Yeah, I didn't believe you when you said that acceleration go crazy.
It does, yeah. It goes wild.
Yeah, no,
and I like floor it, I'd be like, my face, like, you know how like you could feel like the heat
like in the movies.
force in your face, bro. I'd be like, that should be wild, bro. It's fun though. It's a fun car.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, because like Lenny, he was talking. He mentioned Arizona. I'm not trying to like put out your information when it's not even like my business,
Look at that.
but like he was
Good.
talking about how he wanted to like also like he's looking to move to Arizona. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where in
Hmm.
Arizona. If you want to like explain more about that, I'm
I
just
don't
trying
know
to like
where, but I do want to move to Arizona. There's a lot of like entrepreneurs out there that like that's out there,
Yeah.
and I just like the homes in Arizona. I like the desert type of theme. I love that. My driveway needs to be like this. Like I need my driveway to most of the houses. I know a lot of houses in Arizona have that driveway, but
Mhm.
also I want to build my house. But I want my driveway to be like, I don't know how to,
I know what you mean. So it can just go in and out. Like you don't pull in, you go around.
like I want that. I feel like out there is very quiet. Out there is very quiet, and it's like for me to like be out there and have a house out there, it's kind of like away. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be away from my family because my family, like that's who raised me. I love them to death and
You have
stuff. But like I mean, like I moved to what was it? I moved from New York to Delaware. So like for me to move from Delaware to Arizona, like I feel like I want to have multiple properties. So like when I want to go to Arizona, I go to Arizona. When I come to Delaware, I go to Delaware. When I go to like Miami, I go to Miami or something like that.
to.
But like obviously like right now is just getting the cash flows to do that. And like that's what I'm focused on. Just doing that. And then I'll focus on that. But yeah, I do want to go to Arizona, bro. And
Arizona's
um
cool.
say that again.
Arizona's cool. I mean, that is where all
Yeah.
the entrepreneurs are. Like, it's just an entrepreneur like tech like hub. Like, go to ASU
Mhm.
and network, and you're just gonna find a bunch of entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of like what I want by out there. It's like, yo, like that wants an opportunity that needs something to work on or like something you could always like go out there, hire like-minded people like you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like you said, like it's the hub. So that's why I think like that would be a good place.
Mhm.
Like I talked about my settlement. Where do you want to settle, Manny? Like where do you find yourself, bro?
oh, you talking about me?
Yeah.
Like you cut out. I thought you were talking about my cousin. I'm like, she literally just like talked about being in California.
No, no, no.
All right. So like I already have like so my cousin, like all right, this also applies to anyone that's also wanting to move out of Delaware, which probably is like half the fucking under 19 population. But what she recommended me to do was to just do a top five of like all the places where I'm interested in going and like find the top five, visit those places, get comfortable and don't just go sightseeing. Like just don't go to fucking Six Flags and like mini golf and like actually immerse yourself inside that culture. I was talking to someone. I was like, I want to go down to Texas. He was like, what are you gonna do in Texas? I'm gonna like go grocery shopping and shit. And he was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you wouldn't understand. I'm like, you wouldn't understand. I'm escaping the matrix.
Yeah.
But like obviously I didn't say that, but like that's a joke. Um so yeah, like actually immerse yourself in the culture. That's what she told me. Like go grocery shopping, go to like the park, go to events, meet people, check out the vibes of like that. Like be like a everyday, just be like a citizen for like the week. Like
Mhm.
yeah, obviously go to Six Flags and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like really immerse yourself in the culture. See if you like the culture, and if you did like how my cousin liked the culture, then ultimately just plan to move out there. So like my top five, I have it's Nashville, New Orleans, Arlington,
Mhm.
San Diego, and then Scottsdale or Phoenix. That's like my top five. Not in that order, but
Yeah.
like that those are the places that I
That's
really want to like visit. I really like that southern shit, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that just because I'm from Texas, but like I don't know. I guess I'm just like gravitated towards that whole
Like witchcraft,
southern vibe. Wait,
Louisiana.
what?
They do all
yeah.
like all witchcraft out there.
Louisiana, I'm gonna go to like Baton Rouge or some shit. But like the only thing with New Orleans and like Baton Rouge is that the line between ghetto and like the shit
Mhm.
that we're used to seeing online is very, very, very thin. Like you're eating gumbo like at
Mhm.
a jazz like bar, and then as soon as you walk down the block, you're in like the seventh ward. Like that's like my only
Hey,
problem with like Louisiana. So like if not Louisiana, I want to go somewhere where like there's a lot of red rock. Like yeah, there's not much to do, which is like we live in Delaware. We're already used to that shit. So like for me, I don't really
yeah,
care about that. Like Utah or like
Mhm.
Kansas. I know you told me like Kansas
I
or
did
like
like
Oklahoma City, right?
yeah,
Really, really cool. Yeah, and
mm,
like I feel like I'm living like her travel experiences through me. Like her travel experience are like resonating through me because it's like it makes me like her stories make me want to travel more. You know, obviously like expose myself. Like I was invited to go to like Portugal with Rob. Like I wanted to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just take some time out of Delaware, like just with myself or like with someone else. Like not even like a relationship, like just with a friend, like just experience, like immerse yourselves in like that culture together. Like that's what's gravitating me to like travel this year. Like by any means, like I want to at least visit at least 3 or 4 of those places this year.
yeah, it's totally
Um,
possible.
yeah, I obviously want to start with San Diego because like I already have the connect,
And you
and
can knock
then
out San Diego and Arizona in 1 week.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
do
you told me that. Yeah, you
yeah,
told me that we can go down to Arizona and like be in San Diego. So like Lenny, if you're interested in that too, when we go down to San Diego, we can also do that. Like just immerse ourselves in the culture, eat pickles with nachos type shit.
either way you want to do it. If you want to fly into Arizona and then drive out here, or fly
Yeah,
into here and drive out there, you're just
yeah,
gonna have to
yeah,
get two different tickets. Like fly out here and then drive to Arizona and then fly from Arizona back home. But you
yeah.
should take
mm,
out like 10 days to do that, so you could do like 5 days in one place, 5 days in the other place, and then just like go home.
yeah.
No,
That'd be tough.
that would be a dub. And then I get to knock out 2 of my places like right then and there. So like that,
I gotta go to Arizona. I gotta see that before,
yeah,
you know.
no, yeah. I'm interested. I'm interested in that dry desert vibe.
Yeah,
And the drive
I've
is
been.
nice. Yeah, the drive is cool.
Mm, I've been to Nevada. Like I've been to Las Vegas, and I fucked with that like heavy. So
Vegas.
like, huh?
I fucking love Vegas. Vegas, I
Yeah,
almost moved to Vegas. I was like that close to moving to
yeah.
Vegas.
I love that place. That place is like I just like like you got the strip, and then you got like the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
you could have your privacy, but then you could come and like you know dabble
And
and
then
shit.
lose your house to blackjack.
But I'm good at blackjack. I count cards.
Lose your house in blackjack.
Yeah, when I was
You
21, I
lose
used
your
to go
house in the casino.
bring down
Can enjoy your privacy and then lose your house
no,
in gambling.
you can. It's blackjack's easy. You just
I don't. The only thing I know how to play is like goldfish. Like I'm not like I'll do like fantasy football. That's like the only gambling I really do.
mhm.
I know your
That's
dad. He's like big on that shit, like that gambling shit.
Yeah.
I
When
mean,
you're
good for him. It's like he's taking the risk and he's also really good at it. So like it works out for him.
he takes like low money risks for high rewards, and so he'll only bet like $5, $10, but the reward is like over $1,000.
mm,
So that's he
I
does
feel
that.
like when it comes to gambling, I feel like it's just risk management. Like
Yeah,
if you could
exactly.
manage your risk, then it's okay. It's the same thing
Yeah,
as
like if
trading.
you won
Like
75
risk
grand, like
management.
don't go for the millie.
Yeah, just walk away. Don't get
Yeah, just
greedy.
Yeah,
walk away with that shit. Don't get greedy.
yeah.
That's how I used to play blackjack. I used to put in like $100, and then once I made my $100 back, I used to put the $100 like coins in my bag, and then I would just keep playing with my winnings. And if I won another 50, I put the 50 in my bag. If I end up would keep playing, win another 100, put the 100 in my bag, keep playing until like my $100 bankroll was out. Because then it was like, all right, I just won all this money, and I'm done. Now I'm done, and just get up and walk away.
Hmm.
Yeah, but with some, I mean, I'm not trying. With some people, it's hard, which is like I understand. Like you
Yeah,
kind of put yourself in that hole where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like it turned into an addiction. But like, if you're gonna gamble and do all the other stuff, like crypto and all that other stuff, like just be mindful of like taking your shit out before it's too late. Like make sure you're looking at the dip, make sure you're looking at all that stuff so then you can take it out. You don't lose everything. Don't get greedy, obviously, and then just start over again for some other time.
I think it's
Mhm.
also self-discipline, right? Like, because what I like to say is like, oh, I drink wine for a living because I think it's funny. Like, I drink wine. I could easily become an alcoholic, but it's like self-discipline. Like, I know I'm not going to become an alcoholic because I have respect for this. I have a respect for wine. So I think it just goes with like self-discipline. Like, you can
Yeah,
have do whatever you want, but you need to have the self-discipline to keep it
yeah,
back.
yeah. So like with me, like as much as I drink, like with like UD and all that other stuff, it's like I hate drinking. Like as much as I drink, I just don't like the taste of it. Like I drink, but it's like I'm like a social drinker. Like I just don't see myself casually downing like a Tecate light. You know
By
what I mean?
yourself type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell no, hell no. So
Yeah,
like
no.
I'm glad that I also have that boundary of like you know not liking it, even though I do it.
Mm,
Like just knowing when to stop. It's just
yeah.
like
It's
It's
also just
very
having
like
respect for what you're doing. Like, anything could be a bad thing, you know? Like,
yeah, it's not even like just drinking. Like it could be stuff like just constantly going out, like just not
yeah.
staying the fuck home. You know what I
Or even
mean?
mhm.
you can go with social media too, right? Like, if you wake up
Yeah.
and all you're doing is
And like,
scrolling,
immediately check your phone. Like you get a notification, you're on that shit. Like things like that. Like
like being in bed and like because social media addiction is a thing, and I think we're just not talking about it enough. Where
Let's
it's
talk
yeah,
about
no,
stunting
that.
it is.
growth.
Like
Let's talk about that.
not even
Let's talk
like
about it.
clout chasing, like fishing for
Yeah.
likes. Not even it's not even like fishing for. It's just like
I
the
think it's
dopamine that you get in your head from like receiving a notification. Like that's like they compared that to like a heroin high, which is like no
yeah.
one really like sees it like that.
And
Mhm.
now we're
And
exposing it
it's
to people younger and younger, and it's just like it's not okay. Like, I've had a social media since I was like 9 years old, and like I
I didn't
had to,
have a phone until like I was like damn near
yeah.
17.
Still, like, I had to
for
take
real.
2 years of just like deleting social media and not being on it, and like I'm scared to go on it because it's like it's a real addiction. Like,
Yeah.
looking at videos and just like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling is a real fucking addiction that we're just
Mhm.
not. It's not regulated yet.
Yeah, I agree. You could find yourself scrolling on TikTok for hours, even though you think it's 5 minutes. I mean, I'm not socially like I'm not addicted to social media. I feel like the way you use social media is a big thing. Like if you're using it to create a platform, all right, bet. But if you're on
Yeah.
it just to be on it, it's like, yo, you're literally living somebody else's life. You're looking at somebody else's life and not worrying about your own. It's kind of like like dopamine, like the heroin high. Like it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I know like some people that do that. Like I know some people that are like
Oh, you froze. But yeah, like, people, you can't even have
anything, you
a
know?
conversation. You cut out.
It's be like that. My Wi-Fi is like so bad. Like I'm kind of tight right now because like I low key have to be quiet in order for like the stream to like go as planned and for
Yeah.
like me to not cut in and cut out. So it's kind of like I have to stay like quiet kind of. So I haven't been
Mhm.
talking that much, but um the oh, I thought the recording stopped. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, no, that's like it's bad. And also it's like for people to obviously create their own shit, it's like you gotta have a vision. Like
We're moving on to our next topic. We're gonna talk about your very controversial opinion on Tate, as you said. What do
Yeah.
you think about the whole Matrix thing, the whole Andrew Tate thing, the whole him apparently being silenced, even though like yeah, like he was already accused for like sex trafficking like 2 times already.
I believe that. I
Um,
do believe that he might have been
oh,
sex trafficking.
oh yeah, no, 100%. I believe that, but like,
Yeah. Here's what I think about Andrew Tate. I think he's a troll just like Kanye West. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I think that everything that he does is just for views. And I think that he just talks shit just to talk shit just to get views. Like, if you look at him, like, I think he's a very, very intelligent person. I think he's very smart. Everything that he does, it's for the fucking views. It's for the lulls. Like, he started what, Tate Academy, built revenue from that, And at the same time, you had to recruit people to get into the Tate Academy. And so he's making money. He's making more money by people promoting this. And his name is talked about. Like, he's a household name at this point.
He
Like,
got the Ponzi scheme.
it's like, I think he's a wonderful con artist,
Ponzi scheme.
living off of credit cards and debt. And that's how he's making his money. Like, as a big flexer, as being that guy, as being top G. Like, I think maybe his stories might be true. I mean, he was like a boxer at one point, right?
Oh yeah, no, I believe the whole kickboxing thing.
He was a
there's
boxer,
actually,
but he
video
also
of
did
that.
like
Yeah, there's actually video
also-
of that. So I
he also had like the webcam the business.
the
You know what I'm
six
talking about?
cam girls.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's just like, to me, like he is a businessman. Like he's about his money and he's not about anyone else. Like he doesn't care that he has hate. He doesn't care if he has love. Like he's about his coin and that's it. And that's how I feel about Kanye West. Like I think Kanye is a very smart man who just says crazy shit because it keeps him relevant. It keeps him in the loop. So I really try not to give too much energy to like Andrew Tate and fucking, or like anyone who's just doing shit for views. Like it's so obvious that everything they're doing is like, it's a sales scheme. Like they just want more views because the more views they have, the more money they have. That's it. Like that's how I think it is. And I think that he just says controversial shit just to make people talk about him. I think it's all front.
All right.
So when he also, so like when he talks about like the Matrix and like all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you also think that's just like his way of trolling, or do you think like that shit's real?
I think that there are some things about him that are real. I mean, wasn't he just on like a podcast with Brittany something? I forget her last name.
Brittany Rayner when she was grooming PJ Washington and all that other bullshit.
Yeah. Like and like there were some parts where he shows humanity. He shows that he's not like an evil person. So I think that a lot of the things that he says, it's for the views. And I think that deep down, like he is a good person. He's not an evil person. And like him going to jail, like he might have set that shit up or framed it or something like that, just so he gets more views. Like I think everything he's doing is just for money. I think that some of his point of views might be true, like the way he thinks about women and shit like that.
In
But
terms of like the whole like the cheating thing, or more of like the because the way I see it, like with like what do you mean by like his beliefs on women? Like what do you mean, like the good stuff or like the bad stuff? Like what do you?
all of it. I mean, I think like him saying like, oh, he'd rather have a 19-year-old virgin and shit. Like I feel like he really believes that.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I feel like he means that.
Yeah, like I feel like he really means it, but I don't know. I try not to think about Andrew Tate too much because I really believe he's a troll. Like I think that he just is doing it for the likes and the money and to get rich and then get out of this space. Because realistically, in 5 years, we're not going to be talking about Andrew Tate anymore. Like he's going to be done and he's going to still have his Tate Academy. He's still going to have different avenues and different revenues of money. I think everything he's doing is for money and it's for clout. Like
we're definitely not talking about Andrew Tate in like 5 years.
No, we're not.
It'll probably be somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be someone else.
We're gonna be talking about Mind on the Matter.
They're gonna be talking about Mind on the Matter.
No, but your viewpoint is very interesting. I mean, I feel like, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Well, I feel like, I mean, like the shit he says is like true. Like it's realistic, but like, I mean, who knows why he's doing it? Obviously, like he's, he makes bread. Like he had that webcam John, and that shit was definitely like 100% profitable.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. But like the shit that he says like is realistic, and I feel like a lot of people, like he's the only person like for real, like that's like, we have, I already said it. We have like a lot of agendas being pushed like towards like us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for him to come out and talk about that shit, I'm glad that he did. Kind of like woken people, like some other people that weren't woke, like kind of woke him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that he says and the way he says it, it may come across as a little like aggressive, and some people can't really like take that. But I like all of his points. I feel like all the shit that he says is true. It's relevant. You know what I mean? Like what he's talking about, like the masculinity, like being a man in today's society, like how to really be a man, like
Like in
people
terms of
and
like
all,
that
like
stuff that he be saying,
yeah,
like I don't mean to cut you off, but like what he says with like
yeah,
mental health, like men's mental health stuff, like I actually like
bro,
that's
that's
actually
just
true.
true.
Like you don't need a troll telling you like that's true because it's
Yeah, I like that's
like even if like because
yeah.
like if you're as a girl, like you really don't know that because it's like guys they're kind of hesitant to like come to like their friend who's like a
He
girl. I mean, like
I feel
you're
like
my cousin, so like
yeah.
I'm a little bit more comfortable because you're family. But if it was like, let's say, some girl that I know in like high school or that I'm like really talking to, like I wouldn't like just dump all my shit on them because that's like I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable doing that because I feel like
Mhm.
yeah, I don't like I know the reason why. I just don't want to say it because I'm not trying to sound
Wait,
like
you're saying that you don't feel comfortable doing what?
I just want like so like if I were like to share all my shit like all like let's say I had a shit ton of problems going on like I wouldn't feel comfortable like dumping all that shit onto a girl like
Oh no,
like
I'm not.
no I mean
Yeah,
if there's like a
I
huge like
wouldn't.
a clearer boundary of like that comfort of that level of comfort like yeah obviously I'll do it but if it's like just in terms of, like a friend thing like if it was me and you like yeah I would like dump the whole fucking Niagara Falls on your ass. But it's more like with like masculinity and like, you know, guys not being like seen in like that same light in terms of like mental health as like women. Cause like, yeah, most of the suicides are men, all this other stuff, but I just feel like they're only pedestaling like girls committing suicide, like girls in college, girls and all this other stuff, women committing suicide and all that stuff. Like you don't really see the stuff about the men. You mostly only see the stuff about the women.
Yeah. I think here's my point of view on trauma dumping. I think no one should be trauma dumping on anyone. I think that is for you and your therapist. Like
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
didn't feel comfortable trauma dumping on just anyone. Like honestly, because people are evil as fuck when it comes to trauma dumping, and people will take your trauma dumping and they will hold it against you, especially women. I've seen it so many times where someone confides into a woman, woman to woman, or like in a romantic relationship, and the woman like they can be evil in a way and like take your trauma and know how to play you now. Like now they know how to play you like their puppet, and it's an extremely manipulative thing. So I think you shouldn't be trauma dumping on anyone but a therapist. Like I think that's it. Like it's between you and your therapist. You got to work your own shit out. And if it comes up in conversation, it comes up, but it shouldn't be
Yeah.
like a trauma dumping moment. It should be like, hey, this is what shaped like some of the negative things about me, and this is what you should know. I think that's the only reason why, and I think it goes for both parties. Like women shouldn't be trauma dumping on men as much as they do.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not
No, I've had my fair share of that happen to me, and I'm just like I just don't know what to do in that situation because it's like
exactly
um,
because it's honestly business. It's between her and her therapist. Like she needs to go to someone else or a family member to confide in them
yeah.
and to figure out what she should do from there. It's no one else's business. And so on one hand, I do understand what you mean. It's less accepted for men to trauma dump, but also I think it shouldn't be accepted from anyone to trauma dump on anyone at any time. It's between you and your therapist. Like go work your shit out, and you shouldn't be in a relationship if you're still trauma dumping. You need to go to therapy.
Yeah, 100%.
Emotional maturity and setting boundaries, because just because something happened to someone else, it's not your responsibility. Like it's not your responsibility now to take care of this person. All your responsibility now is to it's really to shed light on why she does the things that she does. So maybe she might freak out if you like grab her from behind or something. Right now she's freaking out, and it's like it's really to understand a deeper level of trauma. It's not to fix her, because fixing her was never your job. It was never your job
Yeah.
to fix that person.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. It's between her and her therapist. So also like for the trauma to transfer, that means she hasn't dealt with it herself. Like it wasn't her just telling you just to be like, hey, just as a heads up, like this is something I'm dealing with. It was more of like, hey, like this is what I'm going through and I need a partner to help me. I need someone from outside of me to help me. When you can't, like when you have trauma like that, like no one on the outside is ever going to fix you, and nothing on the outside is ever going to fix you.
Yeah.
It is between you and your therapist, and you got to sit with those uncomfortable feelings for a long
I feel
time.
like Yeah, I also feel like that's more of like a internal healing type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, share it when you're like done and over with it. Like, where to the point where you could just like casually say that, "Oh yeah, this happened to me," but you know what I'm saying? I'm thriving in life, shit like that. I'm popping off. I'm up now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Like
that's
when you're still like if you're still in that hole, obviously, like don't like respectfully, like just don't tell me because that's gonna make me like feel like that's gonna alter like my feelings and shit, like about that, like not towards that person, but like how I feel about like that whole like situation. And it's just kind of hard to explain.
no, I understand what you mean, but I think that also goes with your emotional maturity as well, because I think you have to understand that no matter what other people are going through, it is not your problem. It has nothing to do with you. And
Yeah,
it's not an excuse for the way people treat you. It's not something that now you have to treat people differently. You should still treat that person the way you were going to treat them because it has nothing to do with you. It's not your shit. It's not anything you can fix. There's nothing you could do to help that person. So I think on both sides, the emotional maturity just like wasn't there because for I don't know, because once you start going through your own trauma, you want to like you just naturally stop talking about it. You don't want to trauma
yeah,
dump people anymore. And so it's just like on both sides, like just recognizing that there is nothing another person can do to help you, to save you.
yeah, yeah. And then that goes on to like I'm not trying to get off topic, but like I'm going back on topic now, but like that goes all with like the whole Tate thing of like men's mental health. Like even though people like post it, I feel like there's really nothing being done for it. Like you know what
But
I
like
mean?
we
Like you
see
post it, but like are you actually checking up on like, you know, your male friends and all this other stuff? Like are you actually doing what you're posting? You know what I mean? And that goes to show that like men are just like overlooked and like, you know, like every woman, like even as a guy, like the oh, like you're a guy, stop crying, like, oh, you're a guy, you should be like, you know, strong and all that
I
other
feel
stuff.
like
Like
I feel
I
like
feel like there's just more pressure on like a man to like perform, even though like we're still human. Like not everyone's
like
built the same. You know what I mean?
I think that's extremely internal though. I think that's
Oh
not
yeah,
I think it's a social construct. It is, of course it is. Like in society, like it's something that's echoed from it dates back until forever. But also I feel like now is the best time to have that space open for men. Like you're allowed to go to a therapist. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like obviously, you can go to a therapist. Like that type of stuff, resources like available to anyone. Doesn't matter if you're on your deathbed, old as shit, or if you're like 5 years old. Any of this other stuff, like that resource is always going to be available to you. It's more of like some people they think like, oh, therapy is like useless and all that other stuff. Which like, yeah, I'm kind of like sort of. I'm not like saying that it's useless. I'm kind of just saying like if you can't figure that shit out on yourself and like you're not doing things to
no,
like, you know, take your mind. That's just my opinion on it.
I
Like
know, and I
I'm like,
that
yeah, like I'm open minded towards that. Like if you actually think you need the therapy, like yeah, go get it. But me
everyone needs
personally,
every
yeah,
single
but me person, yeah. No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
I'm just saying every single person needs therapy and you thinking that men aren't allowed to cry and men aren't allowed to show emotions. The reason why women are being checked on more frequently is because women are able to communicate their emotions in a way where people can reciprocate and where they can
Psych.
actually have an open conversation about it. And I think
Yeah.
that that's
yeah,
common in women because we are given that space and that opportunity to have it. And I think men aren't used to having that space, but I know plenty of men who are able to talk about their parents who are able to talk about things in a way where it's not trauma dumping onto me or trauma transferring onto me. I think everyone needs to go to therapy to learn how to communicate because when you come from these households and these backgrounds where your parents are giving you the cold shoulder, where your parents like freak out on you and they yell at you and then they walk away for 2 weeks and you don't see them. Like I think
Yeah.
everyone needs to go to therapy to learn how to communicate because if you knew how to communicate with another person about your emotional needs, then your emotional needs would be met.
Yeah.
And that's my
Lenny, if you can
I,
talk, what would you say about this?
I say I agree. Women are definitely emotional beings and they react on emotion. Like definitely because that's just their nature. Men is more like there's more like they're more like logic. So it's like obviously shows like how she said like it obviously shows that women do need to be checked on more because that's just their nature. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they react on emotion. So obviously. Huh?
Yeah. I'm just saying that women are able to vocalize when they need to be checked on. Like, I don't just
Yeah.
randomly check on my girlfriends. Like, they reach out
Yeah.
to me and they say, "Hey, I need a friend to talk to right now." And I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Do you
Yeah.
need me to
Yeah.
check on this week?" And
I
then
feel
that's how it goes.
yeah. I feel like with men though, I feel like all this there's like steps to it. So like I feel like when going through something like you need to be like it should be implemented in the school system, but it's not. Personal
Yeah.
development, just personal development, really developing yourself as a person to know your core values.
Teachers will know like someone's getting bullied, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know it was that bad," or like, "Yeah, I know you're going through some shit, but like, oh, I didn't know it was that bad." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I feel
Hmm.
like we have like even like everyone just in general has to think like put themselves in like that position of like how that person's feeling, because not everyone is gonna react the same to certain situations, but
Situations.
with those that are like really like going through that shit, like you gotta like yeah, you can try to hide it, but it's more of like if you see like some of the signs, like just because there are signs, like even little tiny details, so like where like someone's like going through it, like
Hmm.
to make sure that they're actually like
That is
okay
true.
and not
It's like
Also,
you.
you can't put that onto someone else.
yeah
Like, you need to learn how to take responsibility for your own emotions and what's going on in your head. And so that's
Mhm.
why I think everyone needs therapy, because it's no one else's job to check on you. It's no one else's job to make sure your emotions are okay. And it's no one else's job to make sure your emotional needs are met. That's what I'm really getting at, is that it shouldn't be
yeah
put onto
yeah
anyone else. It shouldn't be put onto your peers. That is between you and a therapist and someone who can actually help you. Unless any of your friends are licensed therapists, they cannot. And
Hmm.
that's obviously, like, unless they are, they can't help you.
yeah no
In a sense,
yeah
that's what you're saying. It's like you are what you eat. So if
yeah
your brain does this thing where it's like on a constant loop, and whatever you're doing is your brain is like, okay, I am him. So if you are sitting in bed every day, sleeping, depressed, not going to the gym, like not eating right, like
yeah
your
yeah
brain is saying, I am him. Like, I am that loser who sits in bed, who
yeah
doesn't do anything,
yeah
and look at my depression, look how bad my life is. Your brain is on a constant loop of that because that's what you're doing. But the minute you start going to the gym, start wanting more for yourself, start doing other things, your
yeah
brain's like, no,
yeah
like, I'm him. I'm that guy who goes to the gym.
yeah
I'm that guy who really cares about his body. I'm that guy who has all these friends. I'm that guy who started a podcast.
yeah
And then that's what you
Hmm.
have, like, a better outlook on yourself. And so it helps
yeah
with
yeah
depression. But that's what I mean. Like, you couldn't get that from another person. Like, there's no woman in your life who's going to come into your life and give you that same thing that you have to give
yeah
yourself.
yeah yeah
And therapy is like a shortcut to all that. So, like,
yeah
I feel like a lot of my growth is due to therapy, because my therapist gave me a shortcut to every negative thing that was going on in my life. And he was an outside point of view of, like, when I would bitch about my mom or I'd bitch about my dad, he would be like,
yeah
hey,
yeah
like, stop that loop in your head, because that's what's driving you crazy. So, like, why don't we replace that phrase and those sayings with this? And, like, that's what helped shape my mind into thinking more positively in general.
yeah no I agree. It's just I took the harder route in life when it came to like the whole like depression thing. Like I didn't want to resort like right to therapy.
Mhm.
So like, but like it worked out for me in the end, which because that was kind of like my risk taking moment, was like, all right, fuck the therapy. I'm gonna try it my way. I'm gonna do it the Emmanuel Carino way, and like I'm glad that it turned out for me, good for
Mhm.
me, because it's like if it didn't, then I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast or like not going to the gym. I probably just be a bum ass motherfucker. So like I'm glad it like worked out for me. Like obviously, so you know that's that's what I think about like the whole Tate thing in terms of like the whole men's mental health aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously if you need help, like you reach out to the therapist. Like see if you have a friend, talk to them about it. Don't like go
Mhm.
too in depth about that's what you're trying to like get at. Yeah. Just
Well, also, like, if
you
that's
know,
what Tate is saying to young men, I think he's pushing a victim narrative then. If he's
hmm
pushing this narrative of, like, oh, you can't, like, men are the victim and you can't be yourself. It's like he's kind of pushing a victim narrative that men are victims of society, which, like, I don't see that. I don't think that they're victim. I don't think anyone's a victim unless you put yourself in that victim mentality.
yeah. Yeah. Like obviously if you do the work, you boss up, you just better yourself as like a person physically. Like you don't like, obviously you don't have to better yourself physically to like, achieve
Mm.
what you want to do, but like just bettering yourself as like a person. Like let's say you're skinny and dumb and then you become smart and strong. Like that type of thing. Like as a man, you have the power to be whoever, like what Tate said. You have the power to be whatever kind of person you want to be. Like if you want to be like a hippie, you can be a hippie as a man, like especially as a woman too. Like if you want to be a
Anyone.
bodybuilder, you can be a bodybuilder. If you want to be like a chess player, you can be a chess player. If you want to be an alt emo ass motherfucker, like you can also do that. Like you have the power to be what kind of character you want to be in your life, and like no one can tell you, no one should tell you what kind of person you should be. You know what I mean? Like if it makes you happy, then just do it.
And that's like super valuable because it's like, I think the beautiful thing about America is that you can be whatever you want to be. Like
Yeah,
truly,
yeah,
you could be a
yeah.
homeless person and be happy. You could be like, one thing I used to do like gratitude stuff, and the number one thing that I was grateful for is that I am a woman in America who can get into her own car, who can use her own money to go buy a cup of coffee and sit in a park, and I could be fucking in no clothes. Well, not no clothes, but like I could wear whatever I want in America, and
Yeah,
it's like.
yeah, yeah,
Like that's such a beautiful thing that like if I wake up tomorrow and I'm like I want to be a millionaire, I can go be a fucking millionaire. Like it'll take some time, but like you can
yeah,
wake up
yeah,
and be
yeah.
whatever you want to be. And I think that's beautiful that in America, like if I want a new nose, I can go get a new nose. If I want lighter skin,
Shout out Dr. Miami.
like I can do whatever.
Yo, I'm
Shout out
dead.
Dr. Miami. But yeah, like you can be whoever you want to be in this in life.
Yeah. In this country,
And
too.
like you don't just have to be like if you see yourself as a loser and you're like depressed and everything like that, then it's probably like you should take like I'm gonna obviously be mean about it because like that's kind of what you need in life. You just need that cold hard truth. Like if you think you're a loser, you're sitting around on Pornhub all day. You know what I'm saying? Working your 9 to 5, arguing with like 16-year-olds on like League of Legends and shit like that. Then it's like you should just focus on like get the lumen, get that gym membership, start focusing up. You know what I mean? Like, cause like I said, like you are what you eat. If you're sitting around doing unhealthy things, you're gonna see yourself as like an unhealthy thing. Like even if like if when I go home from like if I come home from the gym and I don't take a shower, I feel like a disgusting ass greasy pig. Like that's just me. Like I need to take that shower. So
Yeah.
I 100% agree with like yeah, I'm bulking right now, so I'm just eating pizzas and shit. But like I also balance it because I know like if I eat like shit, I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be able to do like my job, my slave job at Amazon, my matrix job, and like perform the way that I have to perform. You know what I mean? And like so like yeah, I play like the video games. I sit on my ass, play video games, all this stuff. But like I also work hard as fuck, like in my job. Like we like Lenny and I, we bust our ass at our job. We don't want to, but we do it. We have to.
I feel like it's
I
kind
also
of a mentality.
yeah,
Like
like
for me, bro, it's
yeah,
like I know that they have nothing for me. I know that they can't like they have nothing for me there. But
yeah,
like
yeah, no, 100%.
me, like I just like doing I bro, like it's
Damn.
just we just grind, you know what
God,
I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
hold it,
even
yeah,
like my
just
bit
grind.
like shit, you know what I'm saying? Like when I don't feel like doing stuff, even though it's like not for me, bro, like I make sure like that shit's done perfectly. I make
Yeah,
sure it's done. Like I'm not a
yeah,
perfectionist.
That's
So
anything.
that
Yeah.
nothing's gonna be ever perfect. And if you think you're gonna be perfect, you got something wrong with you. But
yeah, yeah. No, you're
um
yeah. You can
yeah,
develop a massive ego and justify
yeah.
that ego, and like your confidence is gonna skyrocket. But if it's like if you can't justify your massive ego, then it's like just don't like just stay humble. Like
Yeah.
I'm cocky. I'm a very confident person. I'm a very competitive person,
Yeah.
but it's like I also work really really hard. Like I'm probably top 3 hardest worker in the family, like by far. Obviously, Marissa number 2.
Who's
My
number
Number
one?
mom,
one.
my mom, she be as much as
But
she be
she's
slaving, as much as she be slaving. Like I will give her props. House at 19, 3 houses before
yeah.
like 30,
Yeah.
25. Like that's some.
Moved from Mexico to America. Yeah. So that's why I'm
And
confused.
then
Why I don't
yeah,
understand why I had to dip. I was like, what is happening right now?
yeah, no. So like yeah, I honestly consider myself top 3 hardest worker in the family. So it's like you can decide, like I said, you can also decide if you want to work hard or not. Like I don't want to fucking go to the gym every fucking day and like lift them heavy ass weights, but at the same time it's like I have a goal in mind. Like I want to achieve that physique that I want. So it's like I have to do it. Like I didn't want to squat 300 on Saturday. Like I was scared to do it, but at the same time it's like I have to do it because, progressive overload, you have to go heavy. And it's like I did it even though I didn't want to. It's like you have to, like, to succeed, you have to do the things that you don't want to do. You have to take the risks. Like my cousin moving to San Diego, that was probably like I give her a lot of prep for
Massive.
that,
Yeah.
because it's like if you didn't succeed, like it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, like you would have been fucked.
Here's the
Like
thing
you
though
would have.
about the Matrix is that in my mind, there was no I wasn't gonna succeed. Like there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
no thought of like I'm moving back home. And when I did have those thoughts of if I'm gonna move back home, I switched the narrative and I would just be like, oh, like if I move home, that means I just took a 3-month vacation in California. Like I didn't put so much pressure. And I think
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I am so successful at my age, is because like
Yeah.
I don't put pressure on doing anything. Like you're saying, like you go to the gym and you hate it. Like, nah, like when I start going to the gym, like I switch that narrative in my mind. Like, nah, I love this. I love this because it makes me more confident, because it makes me more smarter, because it clears my brain. Nah, I love this. Like me going to work, like I could look at it like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna go to work and like my servers and like all my staff, they're gonna be bitching me out, and like my boss is gonna bitch me. Like I could have that negative mindset towards it. But I wake up 5 a.m. every morning and I'm like, no, I love this. I love this so much. Anytime I have an issue in San Diego, I take a deep breath and I'm like, nah, but like I love this. There's no other place I would rather be and have this issue. And also I think I'm grateful for like I was telling you earlier, like I have a $200 gym membership now, and it's like
Fuck that, man. Nah, fuck that gym. Nah, fuck that.
$200 what? A
bones.
month?
$200 gym member, like a month.
But look, I could
what?
look at it like how you're saying right
Yeah.
now, like, fuck that, like that's so much. But like I'm looking at it like I'm grateful that I have the money and I can spend it on this.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Look though, that's good though. You know why
Yeah, that's good. Like that's good. But me personally,
But look though, look, you gotta look at it like
I'm thinking of
this.
it from like a weightlifting. I'm
Look
thinking
at
of
it
it
like
from like a
this.
weightlifter. I'm
Look at it
not
like
thinking
this,
like,
though.
oh my god, $200. What are you gonna get?
But
I'm thinking
look,
of it like from a weightlifting person.
Look at it like this,
weightlifting
right?
talk. That's
You
why I'm
got
looking at it.
you paying $200 a month, right?
I can afford it.
Listen.
Yeah.
You gonna be networking with the people that's up there too, cause
Oh yeah, that is true.
you know what I'm
That is
saying?
true. That
Like
is true. That
nobody,
is
no
true.
regular person gonna pay $200 a month at a gym.
No person who's talking like that is gonna pay $200 a month for it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like you know you can surround yourself with other people that's willing to put that type of investment in, and that uplifts you. Like you gotta be paying. You gotta pay to get into certain rooms with certain people. Like to sit with a billionaire, you gotta pay $1 million. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of information that they're gonna give you. So like you gotta, like, I fuck with that. That's fire.
Yeah, and also
no, like I think it's cool. It's just like me personally, like I could use the same weights I got at home. I'm thinking of it from like a weightlifting standpoint, like a getting big standpoint. That's why I'm saying like 200. You don't need 200 to like get in shape. That's what I'm thinking of it. You're thinking of it as like in terms of like the connection, the actual perks that comes with it, like the cocktail Thursdays or whatever the fuck. You're thinking of it from that.
When I said that,
you're thinking, I'm thinking of it from a weightlifting perspective. That's why I'm like, fuck that. The way that if I'm seeing it in your perspective, I'm like, that's fucking worth it. Like,
yo, what's the name of the gym, yo?
That shit not in Delaware. Don't even.
What's it called? I know. I just want to see what it looks like.
You can look it up. It's called
Fit. What is it? It's called
what? Fit in San Diego.
It's called what? Fit.
F-I-T.
F-I-T.
Fit San Diego.
Yeah. And I have the membership for every single location, and I pay the extra. I think it's like.
Is it in Little Italy?
Yeah, the one that I signed up for is in Little Italy. But look at the East Village one and the Mission Beach one. Like you can work out on the beach. You can work out, and you're looking at Petco Stadium. Like it's like they have all the classes that I need. There's saunas. They have cocktail hour. Like there's literally an event on Saturday for all of the young professionals, is what he was telling me, that it's young professionals my age who are getting into their profession and they're making money, and you go and you network with them.
So you signed up for the one in Little Italy, right?
I signed up for all of them. I have access to all of them.
So the one in you said there's one in East Village and where?
Village, and you're looking at the beach, or you can look at Petco Park. And they
Yeah, no,
have
I see the one of Petco Park. That's the one in Little Italy, I'm assuming.
no, that's
Or
the
no,
one
that's the one in East Village.
in San Diego. But that's
Yeah.
why I signed up for it, is because they have these cocktail things where you go and you meet people every week who are gym members, and they're like the gym members who are paying like the 150 to 200, because you could get one that's 150, but I got the $200 one because I want my car to be valeted because it's in the city. So like I don't want to
Yo, turn me up, bro. Oh my god.
I'm about to,
He
I'm
said
about to
I want
get
my
the
car to
I'm
be
about to go over there and
valet.
get the membership just to be there for like a week.
Yo,
if I feel good going there, like, so when I think of the Matrix, like you are the vibrations that you're around. So like I work at a 5 diamond resort. Like I work with people where the rooms are $800 minimum to stay there. Like you can't stay there for less than $800. So I'm around people who can afford $800 a night just to stay at a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm around people who can afford $200 just on a fucking gym membership. Like these are the people I want to be around, because these are the people I want to be like. I don't want to be like I only want to be around people that I want to be like. So I'm only with the advanced sommeliers. I'm only with the master sommeliers. I'm only with the fucking Michelin star sommeliers, because I want to be them. Like I want to be like them.
yeah, talk your
So you
shit.
basically want to pick their brain and then do what
No,
they're doing.
it's not even picking their brain. It's just like, how do they act? Like they're comfortable in this environment. Like I'm uncomfortable in this environment because this is bougie as fuck. Like this isn't like no one put me onto this. No one taught me this. Like so I have to be in these environments and learn how to be comfortable, and learn how to be comfortable in these expensive environments where it is like where it is 300,000, or not 300, but $3,000 a night at a hotel. Like that's how high these prices go up. They start at 800 and they go up to $3,500. Like they are comfortable spending $3,500 on one room in San Diego to just like for shits and gigs. Like it's nothing to them. They didn't even flinch. Like of course they stayed there, kind of shit. So I want to be around people where they're comfortable spending that much money and they're comfortable making that much money, because I think like the Matrix is like law of attraction, it's manifestation all under one umbrella. And so like for me to manifest that much money, I have to be comfortable being around that much money. I can't be scared of it, because if I'm scared of it, if I'm scared of getting it or spending it, the Matrix isn't going to give it to me. The Matrix is going to put bum motherfuckers in front of me because I'm comfortable around it, because that's the vibration that I'm giving off. So if I'm giving off rich bitch vibrations, I'm going to get rich bitch shit. Like, you know? So I want rich shit. I want nice shit. And if I like going to the gym, I'm going to keep going to the gym because I'm comfortable. I feel safe. I feel like these people have money and they have values and they go to the gym too. So that's why I'm there. And that's it.
That boy froze, but yeah, I get you. So like you're going to the gym to like actually work out, not just like cocktail hour, right? Okay.
No, but it's a perk, right? Like it's,
yeah, no, like that's a perk. That's like it's more, you get more bang for your buck. That's for sure.
And I spend money on stupid shit. Like I would spend money on going out here. I would spend money on stupid shit that I don't use. So yeah, $200 a month. Like I would have spent that on something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I spend money on a lot of stupid shit too.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you already know that, but like but at the same time my mentality is like, okay, I can always like make more. Like I don't have to like
money come and go. Money comes and goes.
money comes and go. Money isn't even real at this
and don't
point.
value it too much, or you
no, I don't value money. Like
So that's what I mean. Like the Matrix will give it to you. Like if recently I had this like this thing in my mental where it's like because I have a fixed income now because I'm making salary now, and so I kind of started getting like stir crazy in my mind, and I just started becoming like ungrateful for it in a way. And so the past couple of days I had to like be grateful for it and be like, no, like all my expenses can fit into one check. Like I don't live paycheck to paycheck. I don't have any money struggles. Like that doesn't exist. So like get that out of my head. Like because I have such a fixed income now. And so I had to sit down yesterday and make a budget and be like, no, like I still have residual income after one of my biweekly checks. Like all my expenses fit into one paycheck. So I'm fine.
Now we do another one.
I got deep
whenever,
with you know what I mean?
whenever my John's straight.
Yeah, whenever I'm straight, let me know. I got a lot to say about a lot of things. I'm a thinker. I be thinking.
Yeah, I got questions. Other questions and stuff. So yeah, 100%.
Cool. Thanks for having me. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
You too.
This is
Keep the
episode 4 and
keep the great
5.
work up, and
Yeah, no, keep the grind
good
up.
luck on that.
I know you're gonna keep the grind up. I know you don't doubt yourself, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
doubt you. Never did one bit. My mom, she was kind of hating on you.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of my family
me,
besides.
I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm supportive.
Good luck on your test too, right? That's
Thank you.
next.
Sorry,
When
I
is that
got it.
again?
It's in I don't know. We'll see if I get accepted to the April one. If not, then it'll
Okay. All right. Well, good luck on that.
be you.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I got this. I just got to keep up with studying.
Just keep on
You
eating
got it.
the lobster ravioli.
I sure will. I love lobster wraps.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
bye.
All right.
All right.
See ya.